had to do a brief cut because I decided, let me go grab my lotion anyway. And I decided, actually, no, I'm going to do the overall reading for K-pop of 2022. I'm going to do that first, and then I will go into the individual groups. So let's go ahead and start on what 2022 is going to look like for idols and actors alike in Korea or in the K-pop world. We're going to see what our 2022 mostly scandals, I guess, or good news, whichever, is going to look like. Ooh. So the first card we get is Magician in the Mirror, and I'm already going to say there's going to be a lot. We're already, once again, it is K-pop. We're going to get a lot of scandals, but we're going to get a lot of two-sided, not two-sided, multifaceted scandals. We're going to get types of scandals where I think it's similar to this year in the sense of they come off initially as one way. I didn't get to these two cards yet, but they come off initially as one way, and then it turns out to be something completely different. So we're going to be pretty much jerked around by certain scandals next year, going back and forth. I would say for all of my K-pop fans and everyone, when the scandals do start next year, do not pick a side. There's no point on picking a side or kind of trying to press anything, because we're not going to know the true levels of what is going to happen until the very end. So you have to be careful, because you may lose, we may end up losing members of groups or, actors or things like that because of scandals that broke out and fans having very quick reactions, and that leading to them leaving before finding out that it wasn't the case. So we're still having a lot of that happening next year. We have adjacent possibilities, which is what I was saying. Like, there's going to be a lot of different angles to these scandals that is going to come out, and we're only going to get pieces of it. We're only going to get pieces of it at one time. So we have to be careful, and especially with the in reverse, we have to be careful of just seeing it the immediate way that it is portrayed, because a lot of the scandals next year are really going to be multifaceted. There's going to be so many different layers to it. It's going to be like, wow. Hostilities. Oof. And I don't know in which direction the hostilities will be coming from next year. But I do see there probably will be a lot of stress on these actors and idols next year. Maybe some big fights. So I don't know if there will be issues within groups or issues with fans and groups. But I do see there being a lot of tension next year. Angel of Balance. This is kind of almost fully reversed. Yeah, it's next year is going to be hectic. Next year is going to absolutely be hectic. Let's see what else we get. Seventh chakra angel Uriel. So she is representing of the crown chakra. Yeah, we're going to need to take some time. This is mostly focused on scandals. We're going to need to take some time, think about things before we act, and not act too brashly or harshly next year when stuff goes down. Strategy and door to romance. We're going to have some secret datings coming out next year. There are going to be more couples that are going to be revealed. Some of them that are probably have been hidden for a good little minute that end up getting exposed. People are probably going to be surprised at how they kept it a secret when they found out, oh, they've been dating for this long. How do we not know that? So we have that coming out. Companies going bankrupt or almost bankrupt coming next year. We do also have breakup of some celebrity couples. So just as much as we're going to get some new couples next year, we're also going to get some celebrity couples breaking up. Man holding a coin. There may be a new runner up in these companies who's going to become like one of the big, 3, or at least move up a step by next year. We have the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So this is representing the throat chakra, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is representative of the throat chakra. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of, I'm coming out. People coming out about things. Mainly, I'm seeing this man holding a heart. So there may be a man who comes out or almost comes out next year, this doesn't also have to be about sexual identity, but it could be coming out again. Another one where they're saying, "Hey, I've been dating this person." Blah, say blah. We have a woman holding a coin, and I don't know if this is going to be a company run by a CEO who's a female who starts to move up in the ranks, or if this is going to be a girl group who starts rising up. We have, let's see, the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. This is sacral. Some people need to be careful of being caught on cameras with doing some nasty stuff. Some people may need to be caught, may need to be careful with that. Also, I do feel like there's going to be a huge rush. I would say an energy rush next year for some groups. Like some groups are going to be, really passionate and pushing forward with a lot of things, kind of really trying to get their name out there, like a last push resort kind of thing. Journey is in reverse. Yeah, I feel like there's also going to be a group or two, like underrated groups that are really going to be pushing very hard next year, maybe too much, so they should be careful because they may end their journey before it begins. All right, we have the Garden Gate, which is in the reverse position. That means you may have some groups that may disappoint next year because they won't leave their comfort zone, but that also may be beneficial to them because sticking to one thing may actually further their fan base, like strengthen their fan base. We have the Door to Value. So there are going to be some people that at first may disappoint by not stepping out of their comfort zone or boundaries, but they also solidify their spot. So they will be solidifying their spot within the K-pop community. The Sun and, let's see, the Goddess of the Moon. Ooh, we have both the Sun and the Moon here. But I wonder what that is in reference to. Hold on, let me get another card. Ooh. I want to say great manipulator. There is somebody, I don't know, it's obviously a man, we have the thinking man, but I don't know, again, if this is going to be a solo artist, actor, or male CEO. But there is someone who is also going to very much be able or learn how to play or manipulate with their fan base. They're going to grow to be very good at hiding what does not need to be seen by the public, publicizing things that need to be out there. This is another company or group that is going to be rising up in the ranks next year. So I'm seeing maybe about 2 to 3 of them that are going to significantly rise next year. And they're gonna be battling it out. Next year is going to be, especially when I was saying the sacral chakra, but more so about these groups that are really going to be doing these final pushes or these really intense pushes. Next year is going to be pretty chaotic. There's going to be a lot of competition coming next year, but there's going to be a lot of good music that's also coming. But in a sense, it may end up being a little oversaturated because I don't see, I'm not necessarily seeing anyone really flopping next year. I do see it being a little hectic on, people maybe not knowing, who to vote for, because I do see like these groups are really going to be stepping up their game next year. They really are. They're going to be stepping up their game. So next year is going to be intense for fans, specifically multi-fans. It's going to be intense for y'all. Or us, because I'm a multi-fan, but I'm talking about y'all. Let's see what else. Clinging like fire. Yeah, no, I'm getting a lot of fire energy. It's really going to be intense next year. Let's see. great abundance. Like I said, we're going to get a lot of good music, a lot of good performances. We're going to be well fed, especially if you're a multi-stan. If you're not a multi-stan, it's time to find some more groups and get into them. You will be, there's not going to be a boring time next year at all. I am seeing less scandals than I did last year, so I'm not seeing much on pregnancies or anything like that. We have Standstill coming out when I was talking about scandals and things like that, so there may be a few scandals maybe earlier on in the year, and then it dies down and everything seems to be pretty normal. Most people will probably be focused more on comebacks, albums, promotions. Mutual attraction is here. I definitely see fan bases and fans along with artists becoming more in tune. I do see an evolution of fan bases as well as K-pop stands as a whole. I see an evolution coming with this mutual here, and I do also see a mutual form of respect forming between fans and artists. I mean, I know no artists watch these videos, but it would be a very good time to start weaning certain K-pop fans off of the idea of, them being your lover or oh, the fans of my girlfriends, the fans of my boyfriend, all of that bull. It's a great time to do that. They're more sensible fans that will be coming in next year. So that's good. Like I said, there seems to be an evolution that will be happening and a different kind of change, a mutual change between fans and artists. So I'd love to see it. Okay. Okay, so we may have a little bit of trouble coming in. We have excessive pressure and oppression. So we may have trouble coming in the form of overworking idols. So like I said, next year is going to be a year of comebacks, constant promotions, shows. It's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of promotion and a lot of push to be upfront. That's probably also why I was seeing hostilities when I first pulled the cards, and I told you I couldn't tell if it's going to be between idols in general, like idols with each other, but there is going to be heavy competition. It's going to be competitive, and a lot of groups may be overworked. So you have to watch out for that. I would say fans, be prepared to beg these companies to let their idols rest, because that may be something that comes up. Like I said, it seems like next year is going to be almost like a final push for some, and so there's going to be a need to push a lot of these idols a lot harder than they were pushed before. Just like how ATEEZ right now keeps coming back, making comebacks. I think it's been one every month or so. It's kind of going to be like that for multiple groups next year. I think Stray Kids is kind of doing that as well. So you see how that push is happening with those two groups. It's going to be a lot more groups doing that next year. So that's something to look out for. Please make sure, you guys, if you care about your idols, to if you see your idols being overworked and getting tired, to try to do something or speak out about it as soon as possible before it gets worse. There's a lot of darkness that comes up. Now, we had the moon before and then the sun here. And I think there was something else that I was talking about where I was seeing some darkness. But I'm seeing it again. We have the moon again. It says you'll be guided through darkness. But we also have the raven. Darkness looms on the horizon. We will have some pretty intense times coming up first before anything settles. So I think the first half of next year is probably going to be the most chaotic. If not the first half, at least maybe towards the middle before it calms down. Water, the emotions are at its peak. So hopefully we don't, I don't read on tragedies, but it's not looking great. It's not looking great. So hopefully next year we do have a lot of peaceful resolutions to a lot of things. Like I said, guys, make sure you pay attention to your idols next year. Make sure if you see them looking tired or worn out, as soon as you see them doing that, please try to message the companies and tell them to let these idols rest, blah, say blah, because there may be some health or safety scares coming next year. There may be some health and safety scares. People are going to be very worried about some idols or celebrities. The gates, a barrier keeps you from your goal. Okay, I don't even think the companies are going to listen. So, but it's still important to try. That will probably save us from maybe certain tragedies that may happen. That's probably the best, the most that I'm seeing as of now. Of course, I will do another one a little later in the next year, maybe earlier in the next year, maybe January, February. January is too soon. Maybe March, after the first quarter, depending on how much starts going down. But for now, we will have next year a lot of good songs, competitions, all of that. There will be a few scandals. Hopefully nothing as big as this year was. But we may have a potential tragedy. I really hope we don't. A potential tragedy. Like I said, if you see the warning signs, act on them immediately. For everyone who's seeing it, if you see warning signs, act on them immediately. Make sure that it is known that, fans tried to do something or say something or mention that there was something wrong. That is a very key important thing to keep note of for next year. But that is all I have for now, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I know it's like messy, but I kind of like doing my year's readings like this. But anyway, like I said, if you want to get a reading by me, or if you want to get a specific reading on your favorite idol or celebrity, please check out my Patreon. Click on the tier that most stands out to you, and then DM me the idol or celebrity you want a reading on. Until next time, I love you all so much, Cubs. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time in the Lion's Den. Bye.